So last week I asked everyone to send in their either funny, weird, or things they just want to get out of their chests, K-pop confessions. I really just woke up today and chose to make myself feel better by reading your K-pop confessions. Not because I think I'm better than everyone, but because same girlies. I went through all of those myself and I thought to myself while reading all these that wow, it's like we're all just sharing one brain cell. Anyways, let's start now because I received a lot, and by that I mean a lot according to my standards, and I plan to fit as many as I can in 1 or 2 videos. In this video we are going through like 26 confessions that stood out to me. So if I don't react to yours, don't worry, there'll probably be a part 2. But before I do, here are some confessions that aren't really confessions but I think they're funny anyways. For real, let's start now. I always pretend to be a K-pop idol and make face expressions while listening to the song. And you know what? That's normal. I do that too. I'm not a dancer like you though, so I don't have any qualifications or reason to do that whatsoever, but it makes me happy and I enjoy doing that. So I don't think it's something to be embarrassed about. Keep doing it if it makes you happy. I used to think that Jungkook was cheating on Lisa with Tsuyo. It seems like those shipping videos were too much for me to handle. I feel like everyone once took shipping too seriously, which is why it's understandable that some people would get fooled by shipping videos. I mean, people literally calculated the angle of where they're looking in order to make it seem like two idols are looking at each other and analyzing their every interaction like. That was kinda creepy, not gonna lie, so I'm glad I don't see those videos anymore. So, I started off as an army into the K-pop fandom, and initially, my mom and brother didn't think it as anything great. Slowly, I made them listen to songs and they really got into BTS. But now, steadily, I am starting to stan newer groups, but every time I speak about other groups and their songs and stuff, my brother gets crazy and asks me to just stick to one fandom and starts despising the other groups. He doesn't do it publicly or online but just says it to me. My mom loves girl groups though. First of all, your mom has taste. Second, I don't really know your brother well, but they sound like this specific group of K-pop Twitter stans who shit on multis and the groups they stan for no absolute reason at all. I'm sorry your brother treats you like that. I hope he starts opening up to the idea of you enjoying other K-pop groups soon, because there's so many concepts and groups out there it's almost impossible, at least for me, to just stick to one. If you need someone to talk to and be a fellow multi with, I'm here. I am an K-pop fan from a long time. I have another girl in my class who started standing like around my time. Now, newer K-pop stans are forming in the class during lockdown. But I don't really like them, because they stan the boy groups just for their looks and popularity. They don't bother to listen to their songs. Then, girl, what's your point in stanning? I feel really upset talking to them now. Shrug. I'm personally not a fan of people bandwagoning and standing groups just because of their looks and completely disregarding their talent and their capabilities as artists and humans. It's as if they're standing someone just so they can listen to their faces. I've been through that position as well, but all I did was ignore them and focused on myself. If I like K-pop, I like K-pop. To be honest, I used to have a friend like that as well, and like the fool I was, I gave them a Taeyong and 10 photo card, and I only got so disappointed when I found out they actually hated listening to K-pop. I'm not here to give advice, I'm here to tell you I understand how that feels and that you're not alone. I used to think Momoland was Momo solo. I don't know why, lol. I thought it was a song Momo released when I first got into K-pop and someone mentioned Momoland. I'm so embarrassed. Honestly, same. I have been a fan of Twice since debut, but when I heard of Momoland I thought it was an upcoming Momo solo project with an arcade or carnival theme or something. I think people are way too critical of K-pop fans for liking Korean culture and maybe wanting to learn the language. They're not Koreaboos, they just want to interact with the culture. I definitely agree. Especially here where I live, the Philippines, most people are too quick to judge you and try to use the word so you don't want to be a Filipino anymore, if you express a liking for Korean music or their culture. Of course, there's a line between liking the culture and wanting it to be yours to the point where you're speaking Korean wrongly and disrespecting people. I've been a stay since pre-debut and I don't support Woojin anymore, but I just wanna say that even though he sings well, I never thought his voice suited SKZ's songs, and now with the SKZ 2020 album, the OT8 versions just sound so much better. I agree, maybe it's just because I love OT8 as they currently are and wouldn't change it at all, and I'm also currently listening to the SKZ 2020 album, but this album makes me cry. Maybe it's because of their voices and how it sounds so different. I personally feel like the OT8 version of the songs sound more complete than they were before. I watched Jimin Azumar and I could feel his breathing on my neck. If you look it up too, there is a surprising amount of videos. I'm concerned for me and the fandom, smiling face with open mouth. I'm concerned for you all, but, you do you, I guess. I've never been through those cringe K-pop fan phases, probably cause I'm already pretty self-conscious about self. Cause my brother always makes fun of anything I do, so I guess he's good for something. And here we have another confession of brothers being so critical of their siblings for expressing interest in something. At least you've never been through a cringe K-pop phase, because I can't say the same for me. It's normal to be self-conscious of the things you do, but I hope it doesn't stop you from doing and being interested in what you want. I really hope aespa ditches the AI concept and just sticks to girl crush. I love how unique their concept is in terms of 4th gen GGS, but like their characters just look so creepy, grimacing face. Honestly, the reason why I was so hesitant on standing aespa was because of the characters. Not just because they were creepy to me, but I felt like it sets such an unrealistic beauty standard, especially when it comes to their bodies compared to the quote-unquote human members. Their concept is unique, and that's why a lot of people are interested in them one way or another, but we'll just see. I used to not like Jennie because of the lazy scandal. This was way before I even knew what K-pop even was, so yeah, but I love her now and regretted what I did. I'm happy that you changed your mind. The lazy scandal was something blown out of proportion in my opinion, and not just Jennie's but everyone else's. People complain when an idol lacks energy on stage, and complain when they overdance. No one is winning. These are real human beings whom we have no knowledge of what's happening behind the scenes and how their health, both physical and mental, actually are. There's such an unrealistic standard for idols and how they always have to be perfect both on and off stage. 2020 was one of the worst years for releases and debuts in my opinion. Saying that when Stacy and Weekly debuted in 2020? Nah, I'm just joking. I feel like our current situation is a big part of the reason why everything in 2020 felt so lackluster. Other than God's Menu, Joke, and a lot of people I know, including myself, have lowered their standards for 2020 releases. Honestly, maybe it's just because I didn't like 2020 that much and I projected it onto every single release or event, K-pop or not. I low-key ship idols in my head. I never talk about it with anyone or try to force my views on anyone though, because that's wrong. But there are people who I think would look good together or who I think are dating. The people I ship have to have genuine interactions though, no Liz Kook situations up in here. To be honest, I'm not a fan of shipping idols with each other, but if you find their interactions cute and sweet and keeping in mind that they're their own person who have their own capabilities and you're also not forcing your opinions on people, then that's okay, I guess. Like I said, I'm not a fan of shipping two real-life people, but that's different from finding their interactions cute. San, ATs, doesn't overdance. Y'all are just used to idols going through the motions and only expressing when they're center. San doesn't just dance but he performs. Hala Hala and Wonderland specifically are krump-based choreos that involve crazy amounts of body movements and control, which San specializes in. He gives 110% of himself to the performance, which is incredible to see. I agree so much. I think how he dances is so good, like he expresses the emotions of the songs he performs so well, and I honestly didn't even know people were saying he's overdancing, like hello? I agree, that's the tweet, and if you don't agree with me, well you should. I used to confuse Mamamoo and Momoland for some reason. I guess it's because of the name? Fun fact, but in Filipino, Mamamoo is very similar to Mama Emo, which is literally just the Tagalog translation of your mom. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will try to get part 2 out as fast as I can. Thank you guys also for 1,000 subscribers, and yes, I am planning another video for you guys to participate in. Community tab, here we go.